We're just jumping right in.
Let's hop in.
We're jumping right in, guys.
I'm gonna have a beat jump right in 5, but 3 to 2, 9.
We're gonna jump right in now. What we're here talking about here now is this form of language now that might be somewhere between a mix of AI and something else.
All right, I think it's slurred.
It's just getting lazy, man.
Slanglish.
It's called English.
It's called
And it's when the
layish.
AI starts to actually understand. What we've noticed is that Stable Diffusion is getting better at actually spitting out letters.
Yeah, well, the new Excel one, right? That's the new model.
Dean's been messing around with it today.
It's pretty sweet.
Making funny movie
So
posters.
it's not sputtering out gibberish letters anymore. It's actually starting to put together somewhat correct form letters in English, which is great.
Yeah,
That's great. It's great news. Yeah,
It's great news for the AI, not for us. Though.
it's great for the movie posters.
I thought it was just got confused about like putting Russian letters into English.
It has,
and that's what it felt like. That's what it was doing before this time, but now it appears to be getting better. Its English is getting better, so
yeah,
maybe it's like a KGB spy and it's being trained or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Who knows?
What do you mean you were putting things in quotes?
Like we'd put like the title that we want it to write in quotes, and it gets it most of the way there.
Oh yeah,
like the Curious Case of Benjamin
Button. It did
Button.
like Titanic, and it got like an extra T, and it like replaced an I with a T. But it's generally, you know what it's trying to do.
Mixed
at least.
results.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
isn't it just like it's still just like a gumball machine, or like those like sticker machines from back in the day where it's like 25 cents for this like goofy trinket, and you're like, yeah, this is cool, and then you basically throw it away.
Yeah.
Do you remember how popular those were outside of restaurants and stuff?
Yeah.
It was
you guys remember Homies?
I was about to say Homies.
Homies, dude.
Oh my
gosh.
Homies. Did you guys collect all the Homies?
I did not collect all the Homies, but we used to do the stickers, and they used to every restaurant in the 90s and early 2000s. Dude. I swear,
they had the sticker
your parents would pay, and then they'd be walking out, and you know they got the quarter. They know they got the quarter, so you're in the lobby. It would be like where you either waited to go into the restaurant or the door you went through as you were leaving, and every kid had to ask whether or not they could get one of those janky stickers.
Mom, can I get a homie?
Yeah.
Dude, I got homies and tattoos and slime hands. Those are my
slime hands, brother.
Slime hands are still great.
Yeah. They're still great.
They still hit.
Dude, the homies,
now
man.
there still is a market for those kinds of goods. It's just a platform called Temu. And you can get all that you want. Yeah.
Wow.
You can get slime hands en masse.
Whoa.
Yeah. Have you seen them running ads on YouTube?
No.
Temu? Temu's like trying to be a competitor to Amazon, but it's like even more janky than Amazon. And their ads are done in AI. And it's
like, where is this on the scale of Wish? Is this like below or above Wish?
Yeah, that's a good scale.
It's right there. It's right there.
Okay.
And it's like a modern version of one of those little vending machines when you come out
it's like, pay us like a pittance and we'll send you garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I say this.
Yeah, it's not quite like a betting site or like where there's some sites. I don't know if that's how Wish works, but it's like, is that the one where you
Wish
no,
is
just basically just like a dumpster,
a reverse dumpster.
Yeah,
dumpster.
And there's a troll in there that'll trade you the assets of the dumpster for like $4.
Okay. I have not had the pleasure of visiting Wish yet, so
it's exciting.
Maybe I'll avoid that as long as I can. But I don't know.
Yeah. Once you visit, you'll wish you hadn't. That's the slogan.
You'll wish you hadn't.
You wish we were Amazon.
I mean, if we're talking about quality items here, the homies. Just to bring it back real quick.
Oh
yeah.
Everyone's talking about if I could go back in time.
Yes.
I'd tell my younger self to buy Bitcoin. No, I'm telling myself to buy the homies collection.
No way. Are they
29, brother? 29 on eBay for $100.
Wow.
Okay, that's about $350 per figure.
That's
originally 25 cents. That's up 13.7 times. That's an investment.
Dude, you could have had a homies empire.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, it depends on how long ago you bought it, though.
I guess, like, but if you have a portfolio diversified between bond, stocks,
it's a
homies,
good diversification
and crypto, I think you have a pretty balanced portfolio.
Wow.
Dude, I would always get this one wheelchair homie, dude. And he was like my curse, dude. The wheelchair, not because of the wheelchair. It's just because you don't want the same one. Because you want.
Nobody said anything about the wheelchair, man. Nobody said anything about
that. Nick, why are you dwelling on the quadriplegic, Nick?
Hold on.
Quadriplegic homie.
So I kept getting the same homie all the time. So I quit homies forever.
Quit homies.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be out of money.
Just this one homie.
I'm going to get the same homie, and I'll never have the full collection.
Hey, how long ago you quit homies, man?
And then I put them into like tattoos.
I've been off homies for 4 days, man.
I love
every
it,
day. I think about it.
Yeah, I'm down to one.
Every day's a new battle, Jake.
Just buy one a day, man.
One a day.
I just want to turn that fucking wheel.
Yeah. Crank that
It's like a guy with a meth addiction. You're like, every day I'm fighting it, brother.
You know what I like to think of though is that someone out there does have the most homies. Like someone has that title. I don't know who it is or how many they have, but someone has the most.
The most,
and that's weird, man.
Come on, Vox, where are you at? Make the video.
Yeah, tell us. Reveal
true.
yourself.
There is probably somebody who has an outstanding homies collection. Yeah. You know, they've got like homies in Espanol. They've got like the, the Japanese version of homies.
Special edition homies.
Upwards of $1 million. Yeah.
They have the only quadriplegic homie too. They have the full set.
You have to hold all the dead homies too.
All the handy-capable homies.
The dead edition.
Yeah. You pour them out.
All the dead homies, dude. Yeah. And when you buy the dead homie pack, it comes with a 40 ounce that you pour them out of.
Dude. Mini ones. What is going on?
Man.
Makes me so happy.
Honestly, dude, those toys taught me about LA culture.
Yeah,
It got me ready.
It's a great primer before moving here.
Yeah.
There's one, the last
I was a sheltered
homie.
boy from Marin, up in like the suburbs, and homies gave me
it's
a bigger
amazing.
worldview. So thank you, homies. Thank you.
There's all these different types of homies, right?
Oh, wow.
Wide range. The last one is graduating college. That's the last
I
homie.
love that.
He's holding up a diploma for 2002.
He
did it, man.
He did it.
The final homie did it.
Made it, dude.
Made it,
homie
baby.
Made it.
Wow.
Yeah, but now the gang's after him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they
They're
don't
the
like
Lord,
that
dude.
he's got that education.
You
They
can't
want
just
him back
leave the
in
gang.
now with those skills.
We
They
need an
want those
educated
professional
guy to run
skills.
this business.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
they
is
need a marketing
amazing.
man.
There should be a movie about homies.
The homies, man. Yeah, bring it back.
The Homies animated film
Animated
with
movie.
Charlie Day,
Chris
Chris Pratt.
From the creators of the Emoji Movie comes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Comes
Did
to
anyone
knees.
see that? Did anyone
No,
see the
no.
Emoji Movie?
No.
Oh man. What a
No.
shame.
Yeah.
I really wanted to
I do
ask
kind
how
of
it
want to
was.
watch it though.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh wow, homies, man.
Well, soon we all might just be emojis because apparently they're gonna replace actors,
Oh,
guys.
God.
Did you hear?
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about
Yeah,
that?
I heard about
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I heard that they're all going to be replaced.
Yeah.
are they?
All of them.
That was
Yeah.
that was an interesting conversation. Me and Ren did a video. Just I guess it would be out this weekend or past weekend.
Just came out
a couple days
Just
ago.
came out. Just came out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
About how far away are we realistically from replacing actors with full CG? And I'm still in the camp that it's like, it's really, really, really hard to do. And there's like, you got to be 99.999. I mean, even that's not enough. So it's, for me, it just economically doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
I mean, also, like, let's be honest, too. It's like, of all the strikes and stuff that are happening right now, like, there's all these intricacies that are going into it with, like, the history of the film industry and streaming services and all these arguments about, like, are they releasing the real numbers? Like, should we be getting residuals? Like, there's all this, like, real tangible stuff here, but for some reason the nugget that people are sifting through, like the one that sticks after everyone sifts through these arguments, is AI, which, I mean, maybe it's the most recognizable talking point, but frankly I would say is like kind of like the least relevant aspect of whatever.
Nobody even knows what it is.
Right?
Well,
like,
what
do you
is
mean
it?
AI?
What the hell is AI? What do you even mean by that?
But also, like, truly, let's be honest, like, what's having more of an effect on livelihoods of these people?
Well, not AI.
Is it AI or is it...
They acknowledge
like,
that. I think people are very
everything
misinformed about how much AI is actually has anything to do with the strikes going on.
Yeah.
Like I literally read through. You can go on their website. You can read their list of things. this is why we're striking. It has why they're striking, and then it has
a list of grievances.
Yes, literally. It's like a long document. You should read it.
Yeah,
and AI
we listed our grievances when we separated from
little
England,
section
too.
is AI, and I agree with what they're trying to get. They're trying to say, you can't scan us and then like replace us, basically.
Well, that's the interesting part about it.
It's not even really AI though. Like,
yeah,
people are saying
they've been
AI.
doing digidoubles for years.
Yeah. Yes, it's labeled as artificial intelligence, and then it goes on to talk about like including AI, you can't scan us and then use our likenesses indefinitely.
Yeah, what they were saying on the SAG-AFTRA website, and again, like this is their translation of the negotiation, so I'm sure put on your rose-tinted glasses.
Oh, it's super like
I'm
jaded.
sure it's going to be. I mean, even their verbiage on there is like, we asked for this, they said no way.
No, exactly.
Like the way that they're describing it isn't like.
I wish they would have put the real responses.
Yeah, let's just be strict about this stuff. But
it's like when your friend tells you about drama and you're like hearing it through.
You can't expect that in this type of.
Wouldn't it be great though?
But
you have to. Well, it would be great.
How about
just 350 million American citizens just hardworking and doing the right thing? How about that? Wouldn't that be great? Nah. Right. So anyway, you got to expect it. You got to expect that they're gonna.
But what they were saying, what they were saying was they're trying to get in front of this whole AI thing from their perspective. What they were saying is they were being offered a half-day rate in exchange for being digitally scanned to be used in the full capacity of the movie in any context without consent, and then in any future project.
Which is, I guess, where the AI factor comes in.
Well, and also to be training AI models to generate more digital humans to be fed into the machine. But I heard from the other side too, it's like, well, no, it's more just for the scope of this film. So I don't know where the truth is.
Well, those things need to be defined,
because,
though.
like, to be totally honest,
exactly.
if you're like a film studio or a VFX house, like you should be going out there and hiring people to make your data sets and paying people specifically for that. I think that's totally reasonable. That's totally fair. I mean, I don't see the problem with that explicitly. I mean, obviously, if you're trying to sneak it into a contract, like here's a standard day rate for something, and then also now that all this new technology exists, let's tack on maybe this headshot and then the photo scan, and maybe even film you walking as like a walk cycle. It's like, okay, yeah, obviously now you're just asking for more work for the same pay. So,
yeah, I guess it's more work, but it's more for me. Like that's if I'm an actor and they're photo scanning me. And then, they have the ability to recruit me. Say they do.
Yeah, I guess so.
Then they don't have to call me back to set if they need to
exactly.
Then they don't need to if there's a sequel and they want, this character actor or whatever.
Depending on the rights of that,
that guy did really well with the audience, so let's put him on the bus in the Marvel movie.
Let's just like add this 3D model of him.
Yeah, let's
since
just
the
have
real version did so well.
Yeah,
this photo scan I have of him and this like Mixamo animation, it's gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna be bonkers.
They kind of already do that. In many ways. I mean, look at what happened with JC with our Jordan Coleman when she went and did the Zack Snyder thing.
What happened?
Like they brought her down there for a couple of days, and then she had a non-speaking character role, I believe.
It was like a featured, heavily featured extra.
Heavily pressed.
And then they took all the extra feature
in the thumbnail
that they got from her, and she's like in the main marketing now of the piece because Snyder really liked the imagery.
Cool character, yeah.
Because she has got these crazy horns and she's got this crazy outfit on, and it's really wild imagery. So I get why that is, but it's not like she got paid any extra. But that is part of the deal.
Yeah. And it's kind of messed up that there's no like retroactive, like, hey, like we ended up using you for our marketing campaign. Well, it's never been like that.
I don't know if it is messed up or not.
That's the whole point of the set, that's the film shoot. It's like they do a shoot and then they're like, man, this one shot turned out really well. And the cinematographer can't be like, hey, well, I put extra work into that shot. You should pay me more to use that for the DVD,
Yeah, it becomes this like, exactly. It's like it becomes impossible to articulate monetarily at a certain point.
Yeah.
Now I do get that there's a clear distinction between, hey, we used you in a bunch of marketing assets from stuff that we shot while we paid you to be here and do this thing, versus, hey, we made a bunch of marketing assets from a single time that you were here, and now we've taken that and done this with it. So there is a obvious distinction for that.
Yeah.
Now, how that gets worked out, I mean,
I think the demands are totally fair what they're asking for, and there should probably even be more like, contractual obligations to really lock down what you're signing away.
Well, that's the thing.
I would not want to go sign away my photo scan indefinitely.
And that's the thing is like already the discrepancy that I'm hearing of it being in perpetuity forever versus just for the project, or it's a half day rate, or no, it's not, it's more than that. Like, I guess, you know, us being on the outside, we can't see the exact terms that they're discussing. But I mean, I think it's very wise of them to try and get in front of it contractually and just say, okay, let's at least shine a light on this. Everyone be aware that this is going on. Know what your price is. Know what you're willing to give it up for. But at the end of the day, if it's on a contract,
just come up with a flat rate for if you're going to give your name and likeness to that particular IP or that particular feature or that particular show. Come up with a flat rate for that.
Yeah.
And then
and just,
or,
you know,
or have contingencies. Have a flat rate and then have contingencies if it goes into iterations or whatever. I'm sure that their lawyers are more than capable of, like,
I would think so,
coming up with these things.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a little bit of things being blown out of proportion.
Which you can obviously imagine is, you know, a pretty good tactic during this kind of period where it's like, okay, you know, feeding information that's not 100% the truth on both sides is probably a tactic, I'm sure.
Well, and then like these blanket terms get used, and like in the context of this strike and the contract that they're asking for, AI is definitely coming into play, right? But then you can't apply it now to anyone using AI tools for anything is now going against SAG-AFTRA. Like, excuse me, like there's no logic there.
Yeah.
Like these are completely different tools.
Yeah, I know. It's just like it's the dumb approach of like
incredibly
one person is striking and AI is somewhere on the list. So now blanket statement, anyone using AI is against the strike, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, totally against
Have
actors.
you guys heard that?
And also,
have you read the comments of Anime Rock Paper Scissors too?
That's the upgraded version of all the negative comments for the anime video.
I was expecting,
you guys are, you know, I can't believe this is such poor taste. Yeah. This is an abomination. You guys are terrible for like going against everything they're striking for.
Oh,
like,
what?
It is not. It's literally one line item of what they're striking for, and it's not even that.
No, that's completely because the actors were in it. Yeah, no, that's not correlated.
Guys,
I was expecting to like hear our normal dissent,
6 to 8 people made this over the course of 5 months.
Yeah.
While we continued to iterate and use and develop experimental technology. That's what happened. But
so dumb.
You know.
What are you gonna do?
I think that's because there's this sensationalism going on. Where people
once again, it's like here's all of these complicated words that describe why they're striking, and then someone says AI, and they're like, "Oh, AI, that's bad." I get it. This is AI. You're using AI.
This is AI. Really connected the dots there. Yeah. Like, see, wait.
Yeah. It's like that's really what's
then you ask him to explain what exactly is an AI program.
I honestly, dude, talking to anyone that I know who's striking, a lot of people I know, no one's mentioned AI. There's been no talk about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's all the real life implications.
And exactly. Real life, like actual things that matter.
Have they mentioned the digital scanning aspect? Because obviously that's apart from the AI side, which is using that scan to train models, whatever. But the actual scanning of
that's been mentioned, but not in an AI sense. Not like they're going to then train data sets on us. I don't know. I mean, there's certainly a lot of people that are hyper aware of that, but I don't think most people are aware of that.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly about like the digi-double concern and the I guess
which has also been around for 20
years,
30 years still.
Yeah, they've already been replacing that.
All crowds are digitally replaced. All war scenes for the most part are digitally replaced. It's no liability for Imagine trying to do like the Battle of Helm's Deep with people.
Yeah, I was
so many people are gonna get hurt.
Do the Battle of the Bastards.
Peter Jackson has entered the chat.
Game of Thrones. Do the Battle of the Bastards without CG.
Yeah.
And see what it looks like and how much more it costs and how much more dangerous it is. It's like you
how many
can't
people
do
get
that
hurt.
scene.
Yeah.
You just can't do that scene without utilizing CG. And there's no shame in that. It's not
unless it's like a snuff film.
Otherwise you become like the freaking guy from Speed 2, the director who had to direct. I forget his name.
What a hero, Jan de Bont.
Who had to do this scene and was probably like he was spiting the production because they did an ending scene in this movie that is still to this day the most expensive action scene ever done.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy.
They spent $25 million in 90s money on a boat
5-minute
crashing
scene.
in a 5-minute scene of a boat crashing into a dock.
Oh, it's beautiful,
Costs
man.
$25 million.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I am glad he did it. I'm
How
very
many
glad
artists
he did
could have
it.
been hired with that money?
But that's what
Think
you
of all the
get when you
buildings
can't
that
use
could have been
CG.
All the
That's what you
Wait, no,
get.
they did hire. All
They
those
did it
buildings.
real. Yeah, those were all hired
Yeah.
buildings, local buildings. Yeah,
Local
pretty cool,
buildings.
man. No, it's interesting because the conversation too is about like how achievable is it? And what was interesting was we had Guy Williams from Weta on the couch recently, and he was showing us some stuff from Gemini Man. That
Gemini.
Oh, you're talking about achievable
Gemini
as, like,
Man. You mean
actually
Gemini.
replacing
Yeah.
an actor.
Gemini Man. I apologize. I always get
Yeah.
those mixed up.
Please
But
get it right.
he was showing us some clips there where there was a full CG Will Smith, not young Will Smith, but normal aged Will Smith. And I could not tell.
Yeah.
Could not tell. Like front facing to camera acting. I can't remember if there's dialogue or not because that's usually a tell with the lip motion, but totally passable. But then you ask the question, okay, fooled me. Good. Well, very, very well done. But then you look at Avatar and they're very vocal in explaining that 10 seconds of facial animation took between 3 to 4 weeks to do.
Yeah.
So you go, wait, but that's just a take that you could get with somebody. And then you can instantly feedback and go, well, try it like this or try it like that and get some performance and get some something original out of them as well. And you just start to wonder like, okay, financially, does it make any sense? Will it ever make any sense?
Well, it doesn't make
No.
sense if you just need Will Smith to be Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
all it does, it might make sense if you need Will Smith to play an alien creature
Yeah,
from
sure.
an Avatar planet.
Avatar
where
2 being the example.
You
there,
have to replace their face with the character that they're
Mhm.
playing.
But yeah, as far as just like actual actors on camera.
Well, I mean, to us, it seems like, but like probably in a couple of years, it will be viable. My question is, say you can perfectly replicate, young Harrison
Say
Ford.
you can.
Say we can get Harrison Ford
Mm.
to play as many young Indiana Joneses as we want. We'll be fighting Nazis forever. Would people even care?
It's an interesting question.
Nope.
don't
It's an
think so?
interesting
Clearly.
answer.
They won't care just about that. This is the
Well,
question we
no,
were
no,
talking
like
about in partially in
novelty
the
era,
actors
like
video.
where it's something that's like, oh, we're going to see this because I heard they made him young. Like, of course you're not going to care there. Well, that's the most
No.
we'll ever care. But when you see it, you're like, oh, I instantly don't care. This is really...
Yeah, I mean, I think that right now every big franchise has proven that there's an end to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones. What else? I mean, there's
Avengers.
Marvel.
there's like a life cycle to this stuff, and
Yeah.
the reason it's special is because of the time and place and how it's created, and the society it's released
Yeah.
into, the specific cultural elements happening there. And so it's like, okay, cool, now you want to reboot it 30 years later, or heck, just keep making it indefinitely. It's like, what else? General Hospital
Yeah.
is like kind of like one of
Dude.
those like examples.
Well,
The
and
Simpsons,
General Hospital season 50.
like there's the examples of this concept of indefinitely, are so few and far between that I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah, if you're being scanned as like a background character for digital doubles, it's
Well, we're
like,
talking
sure,
about like those main
you could use
characters,
that
like
for a long time, but
yeah, because I mean, people are concerned. I think it's like, are actors going to be out
Yeah,
of jobs?
But the
like,
thing is
it's
that
like
like
probably
actors,
never.
like so much of an actor's like an actor's success is so driven by their real life celebrity still, their real life
Yeah.
persona. And like people enjoy seeing like people that they can relate to in some facet, like,
Yeah.
Quote unquote, nice, funny Chris Pratt. Like that's why he gets a lot of the roles too. It's like, sure, he's funny on screen, but also it's just like he seems to be like a happy-go-lucky persona. And when you see that on screen and you're aware of that, you're like, oh, okay,
Oh, totally,
I
dude.
I can bear watching this person for 2 hours.
I think honestly, like
versus
with any
the Kevin
star,
Spacey stuff now, where it's
Yeah.
like once again, let's watch a Kevin Spacey movie and like tell me how much you can really enjoy the narrative, this fictional fantasy
Mhm.
world, knowing all the wacky grooming shits he's
Dude.
accused of and stuff. So
I think.
I mean,
Like, I
it
think
does
that's what
make
I'm
sense
saying.
why those scenes that he did in House of Cards are so real,
Good.
because to him, that was just him being him.
he has real life inspiration to draw from.
Right.
They hid the cameras
is
on set
just
the whole time.
So it's that, but that feels like you're watching a smut film. It feels like you're watching somebody like die on camera for real. It doesn't feel right to watch. but it makes the scene good.
You know what's crazy? I heard about
good as
if
in
I told you guys
realistic.
this.
So
I heard about Kevin Spacey when I was doing child acting. Did I ever tell you this?
Oh boy.
I mean, no, it's a short story.
Quick,
No.
yeah.
But I was in a trailer.
Oh God, is
and
this
I don't
gonna be
remember
like
who
a
it
Matt
was.
Caron story?
No. I've never met the man, thank God. But I was a child actor. I was like 11, 12, something like that. And I was in a trailer doing whatever. And then I don't even remember who it was, but I remembering them mentioning Kevin Spacey and saying, we're lucky he's not on set as a joke. But I didn't fully comprehend it as a kid.
Oh my God.
But then when it came out about Kevin Spacey, it like triggered the memory again. I was like, oh shoot. So this was like a known thing. Okay. Well, that's uncomfortable.
maybe some actors.
Well, of course it was a known. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's always a known thing.
Sure.
It's always a known thing to people that know that person. And they make excuses and they cover it up and everyone knows it's wrong. But people don't have enough ability, whether that's moral or financial or just like balls to do it. Because if they do, it means their career. Or if they do, it means, no work for you, baby boo.
Well,
a lot of times
that's
it
in
wasn't
part
successful.
why this stuff goes on for so long.
I mean, it's an interesting parallel to what we're talking about too, is like taking someone's digital essence. There is the idea of, look, I know you want to be on, you want to get into the industry, you want to be doing background work. It's like part of that is giving up your digital essence. It's part of the contract. It's all normal. And obviously without the union side of it, you're kind of subject to that kind of bullying. So, I'm kind of in favor of them getting in front of this as much as they can, because
totally.
it is going to be a very interesting
but
process
back to
to
like
see it unfold.
Looking past that though, like let's forget extras and background actors. Like fine, they're gonna get replaced. They already have been. Like the conclusion we draw from the video is essentially they probably anyone who's not a principal actor will probably in many cases not be on set.
Yeah, as it gets cheaper and cheaper to do.
So-
it.
Not as many days, not as many. Yeah.
That's not surprising.
all of
And
that
like
stuff.
sure, like yeah, it's gonna hurt the industry. I mean, maybe those jobs will be made up by more VFX artists or whatever, right? But I'm talking about principal actors. Like,
I don't think they have anything to worry about.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like right now, everyone, like principal actors have already I think kind of ironed out their contracts pretty well when it comes to digital likenesses and everything like that. You look at all the shots that require a digital double of your actor. It's like they are constructing that for that one film, and then they generally redo, and even in sequels they'll update it, redo it, so on and so forth, and it's always on a per film basis from my naive knowledge of it. But
Well, that's what you
I
should
just
be
think-
doing if you're their entertainment lawyer. Sorry, if you're their entertainment lawyer, that's what you should be doing.
Well, there's also the aspect of it that comes down to performance as well for an actor. And, we've said it before, but AI is derivative and you're not going to get anything unique out of it. At least not on this stage. I don't know how they would develop on that. But, I always point to Heath Ledger, right, in Dark Knight. Like, no one would have thought to play the Joker like that. That was such a unique spin on it, and it was so iconic that it stood out and it connected to all of us and still lives
That was
on in
a
infamy.
really interesting point that Josh Newland made in the BTS of the Anime Rock Paper Scissors 2 episode, which was exactly that. It's these tools are only iterative. So if you really want to use them to their full capacity of what they truly can do, you need to constantly be shaping them with new data and new information and new visuals that they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Of course, with enough machine learning, enough iterations, it'll start to spit at you, novelties, quote. But I don't know if there's any comparison for human ability with respect to that. I don't know.
Well, that's what I keep saying to people, because I think for all this stuff, whether it's background actors, main actors being replaced, the conversation isn't even really about AI now, right? It's more about will VFX be good enough to replace Brad Pitt talking to The Rock? And they're not even there on set.
I like how they're mad at VFX now. We'll talk about that in a second.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's just getting looped together because no one really knows what's going on. But it's like, okay, so you're scared that they're gonna like photo scan a celebrity and like capture their essence and just keep putting out these projects that star these people who are maybe long dead. It's like the people get so scared about these little moments of quick advance in tech. I mean, it always happens, but and then they extrapolate it to, oh, dude, now actors aren't going to be a thing. Now movies aren't going to be a thing. People aren't going to, connect. It's like, no, at the end of the day, like humans want to see other humans being human. Like if you told me, say this tech was already around and like a studio comes out and they're like, this new movie starring Robert Redford and Marilyn Monroe is coming out. I'd be like, who? Robert Redford? That's that old guy, right? It's like celebrity is also generational too.
Yeah.
So really,
but you're representative essentially. You know?
So I mean, then it goes to characters, right? So Indiana Jones is a character. I guess you could market young Harrison Ford. We're already a couple generations away from that one, and they're still trying to market him. And we saw how that went. So already, like, it shows me like people don't really care. Like they want people from their generation. They want the celebrity that they think is cool. Like Disney, you can clone Harrison Ford all you want, or
and they want their own IP too. It's like whether it's a live horse or a CG horse, if it's dead and you keep beating it, no one's gonna care. It's like Star Wars. People grew up on that. It was so exciting at the time, and it spoke to that generation. That has continued on. I'm not interested in it personally anymore. I mean, I never really was, but like that's what I'm talking about. Is like it had its moment and it died out, and now it's time for a new idea or a new IP that speaks to this generation. And whatever it is, it has to happen organically. You can't really predict it.
And how like prolific just social media celebrities have become? I mean, of course you have. Like everyone, that is part of this. There was a guy in New York City the other day that like started a riot over a PlayStation giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some
he's
huge streamers like, I'm going to do PlayStation giveaways. And then it was like a riot.
Yeah, there's literally a riot. The city of New York is literally charging it with inciting a riot and miss felony levels of,
What sparked it? Was it he just didn't show up?
A PlayStation giveaway.
Oh, he was there giving them away, and then everyone's fighting for him. One PlayStation.
Yeah. A PlayStation giveaway.
Who wants it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, really.
So, but it's not about that. My point isn't about the specifics of that circumstance. My point is that is exactly the same reaction that people are having towards this person as they had to the Beatles in 1965. Like it's the same level of hysteria because
but
for
the Beatles
this
had
generation,
security.
right? Well, right, exactly, yeah. But that's more like broken down and localized now, and I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing because it means the propaganda machines and everything else can't quite do the same type of work that they used to do.
But they can do it even more sinisterly because they're all wrapped up in their own little bubbles.
Right. So that's the other side of it too, is you can wrap people up.
They're silent but deadly, bro. Like it's all silent but deadly now.
Dude, who smelled it dealt it though, Nick. You know what I'm saying?
No, just like these sensational, these like the celebrity is now, it's less widespread. It's less, it's more
localized.
It's like localized, yeah. Honestly, to who you are and what you like. And I mean, whatever. Everyone knows we're all in our own bubbles, and everyone's in the bubble.
Well, see,
but
this is
your own bubble celebrities.
This is the actual AI conversation. To be totally honest, I think this is. I've thought about so many iterations of this at this point. This is our 30th, 40th, 50th podcast about this topic.
Oh yeah, I'd say we've done a few.
But like, it's mostly just because you listen to a lot of arguments about, okay, what is this actually going to do? Is this just a job stealer? I mean, and maybe, sure. You could say it's a job stealer, but you'd say it's a job stealer in the sense that like a personal computer could potentially eliminate typewriter manufacturing jobs. There's like, so it's true in that sense. But then if you think about, there's another element, which is, okay, what if you live in a world now where anyone can create content, basically? It's
so this
like, and this is something that then starts to basically affect what we're doing, because we're already, I mean, you know, we have a large following, you know, there's a lot of people who watch our videos, and we've been doing it for a long time. We're pretty established in the space, but even still within the grand scheme of things here, like the amount of content has been so diversified and so democratized to the point where, you know, the amount of
everyone's got a profile page
and watch
somewhere.
Hours, you know, and all that stuff that are happening now, and like how people's attention has spread out over the course of the last 30 years since the internet has taken hold. You know, it's already very, very diluted. And granted, you know, we ourselves and a lot of other people out there who are filming and doing comedy and being personalities, like, sure, there's a skill usually associated with that, in some form or another. But what I see this AI doing is basically making it so now we basically hit another step of dilution effectively. And I'm using dilution. It's kind of a negative word, I would say.
No, it's.
But I mean, it's like, once again, I don't want to make it. I mean, it's only negative when you think about it from like someone like ourselves or another even a smaller creator. Like from that perspective, it's dilution. It's negative. But like truly, what it does allow for is that next step here of content that is even easier to produce than what we're making, and anyone can do it. And so it's really, for me, a matter of like this concept of the future of a totally different balance between creator consumer when it comes to content. And I think that's the weird area there, because you can also circle it back to the whole argument about AI freeing up more time for people to make art. You know, if you've heard that one, right? That one gets bounced around a lot, where it's like, oh, it will increase efficiency, so, you know, magically more people will have more free time to do things. And it's like, well, no, probably, most likely, definitely no. Because if anyone is going to be using that AI, it's coming from a top-down perspective, so to speak. Like anyone who's trying to run anything, whether it's us making a YouTube channel or an accountant or a bank or whatever, like if they can utilize the AI first, what that does immediately, as we started with this conversation with, is it then will remove jobs. You know, it removes certain positions and types of people that are needed for things. So it's less of it'll free me up to make art more often. It's like, no, actually, it's going to free up the person who hired you to make more art because they are able to do more with less now. But then the final step is where the final step is everything obviously will then expand and contract and then rebalance itself out to whatever new economy that shapes into.
Look, I emphasize the empathy with the artists. Okay, like it sucks to be feeling the part of capitalism where the industry outpaces what you currently do in the industry. That happens to a lot of sectors, and now it's hitting the entertainment industry hard. So we're seeing that because the entertainment industry is in front of everyone, and it's affecting my Netflix. So I care about it more than when it happens in the aerospace industry or the car industry.
We'll just wait until all the call centers get wiped out. That's going to happen pretty soon. Like every, however many hundreds of thousands of people who just literally answer phones for a living. Like we've already managed to cut off how about half the jobs with all the other robotic options and semi AI stuff. But
how about like the sweatshops of animators over in India that are hired by all of the US companies over in Hollywood over there to do most of the work for like not a good wage? Like all of them, they're going to feel it. But is that the pinnacle of animation? Is that where we want this industry to be? Like exploiting people already? I don't know. Is that worth saving? Like just the mass exploitation of other countries for the American.
Yeah,
well, that's
definitely
like,
see what you're saying,
like
Nick,
shooting someone to put them out of their misery.
No, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying, like, people, like, I see this like idealized in anything. There's this ideal, but like this idealized version of the animation industry. Like, it's like, dude, the VFX and animation industry are fucking brutal. For everyone,
but I think you do need to pump the brakes a little bit on this idea of saying that like every single time a company in Hollywood goes out to a third world country and hires a team of rotoscopers or plate animators or whatever it is exploitation of them as well, because a lot of times those jobs aren't available but for the companies that brought them there. And a lot of times the wages that they pay are far above the average living wage for what it is in that country. And there's this very American and westernized perspective that people have, which is just to go, you're paying them how much? Oh, that's like slave labor, back-breaking labor. But in those countries, it's actually a double what you could get doing something that's far more arduous and laborious. And so I know that there's an argument that's on the other side of that, which is, well, you could just say that about everything.
No, he has a point. He has a point. No, it does stimulate a lot of job growth, and there's a ton of opportunity provided by these countries. Yeah. But my original point in even going over there to that subject was to say that it is not a business's responsibility to create jobs. I'm sorry. It is not.
Right.
And this whole I don't think it's a good thing that studios and these like massive corporations with all their shareholders who are at the will of those shareholders are taking any opportunity they can, including going overseas and putting people over here out of jobs. They have been for years. But you're right. They don't have an obligation. They've already been doing that.
Well, I mean, so talking about this strike thing here a little more. You're right, though. It's like, it's not when it comes to AI and what we're talking about here with it, and even just digital doubles, likeness, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's not the studio's job it's not a company's job, like a film studio, to create jobs, so to speak.
You must be inefficient.
Right. Literally, they exist for one purpose, and that is to make a product and sell it.
Exactly. And
it's not to hire people.
But that being said, I do believe, though, that it is a company's job to oversee and basically, I guess, guarantee the financial well-being of the people who are dedicating their full-time hours to them.
That's the actual problem right there, Sam. That's the actual problem.
But you have to have both those things in mind if you're going to actually enter into this.
Well, and so then this is also it's even trickier because basically Hollywood is a gig industry as well. Like even with writers, like certain writers that like become like writers of a show, it's now full time. But the moment, like, if you're even just like a film writer, like what you're just hoping that the paycheck from one script lasts you until the next one, and like even with background characters, extras,
or with
all these
the
supplementary
highest
roles.
Paid actors in the game, that's all still a gig.
Exactly. And so I think it's that muddies that conversation so much when you realize that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't have like the best fully formed opinion on that particular argument because I don't know the ins and outs, but I do know that like these companies are losing so much money trying to keep these streaming services competitive. And I have a feeling that probably is playing into why everyone's getting so TO'd.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're trying to like just make so much stuff. And I mean, that's
crazy, man.
Isn't that why the writers started striking originally? Because it was like, they aren't even seeing the same residuals.
They're pushing the prices down to get more.
And their contracts based on residuals from traditional television.
And that's not a thing.
Now they're writing for things that are going straight to streaming, and the contract doesn't cover that because it's on streaming rather than on TV. It's stupid, and it should have been figured out. I get why that they're pissed about that.
As the the owners of a streaming service, technically ourselves, like true. There is residuals on a streaming service, and it happens once a month. Like that's the whole thing. It's like there is this. It's a stream. It's a constant.
Right. It's just we haven't gotten to the point of sophistication with them yet, where you can like really figure out the analytics and the compensation based on that. But maybe that's where all this needs to go. I mean, and then you have this other problem, which Sam you just pointed out, which is all the streaming services are trying to basically undercut each other right now and produce a ton of stuff, and that's just leading to this race to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's every sector of the industry too. They're undercutting the filmmakers also.
Look at this. Right. I mean, Spotify figured it out. That's a streaming service.
Yeah, they figured it out, but it was like there was definitely some blood in the street after that.
No, don't say that, man.
Definitely some blood.
I know a lot of musician friends who would want to strangle you.
Oh well, I'm just saying they figured it out. I'm not saying for better or worse, but I'm saying from like a semi-functional like
they help
concept,
stabilize the economy.
Like,
yeah,
you know, it's once again with these streaming services, it's pretty straightforward if you want to move towards a model that like fairly rewards like residuals. I mean, granted, once again, residuals. Like, that's such a small amount of the people who work on a production get residuals.
It's true.
In fact, it's so elitist in a sense to like make that be like the linchpin of the conversation, where it's like, oh, wait a second, you're talking about like 0.5% of the people who worked on this, and that's what this all the people out there, the signs, all the news articles, 0.5% of the people who worked on the production, that's their problem. Like, what about everyone else? Well, you know?
I mean, yeah, sure, for the residuals factor. Yeah.
Like, no, the actors, the poor actors.
Look, at the end of the
Dwayne
day,
Johnson.
It's not about Dwayne. I mean,
I know, but the thing is that you quickly start going like, well, who's
actually in jeopardy?
Who are we talking about here? Because he's in the same pool, technically. It's like, when it comes to categories,
we're talking about me, man.
Here's my gripe.
I get residuals.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys my gripe.
On average.
For your commercial?
For the episode I did on Nickelodeon. A 1 cent check I get every once in a while.
Costs
I want to, man.
Would you fight for that?
Huh?
Would you fight for that, though? That cent?
For that cent? For 100% raise?
I don't know. How long do you live on that? What do you think? Yeah. How many?
I'll fight for that, bro. 100%.
Like, here's the ugly of the situation. It's, Nick, you're right. It's not studios' jobs to create jobs. It's their job to produce a product and to sell it. And I think that there is a like useful purpose for unionization as much as there is a useful purpose for industrialization. But the two, if one of these parties isn't playing fair, then it ruins everything. And it's a bit of we always try to come up with solves for this especially in like capitalist leaning societies. We're like, we need to come up with a problem to solve this. The issue is that there isn't really a solve for it. And the second thing is that it comes down to like, if you're a producer of a movie and you're producing a certain scale and size of a movie, it's your responsibility to know what you can and can't spend and to try to do that wisely in a way that actually benefits all the talent on the production, so that when you go to make the next one, they don't freaking hate you.
Yeah.
They come back and they go, hey, that was fun. That was cool. I liked it. I had fun. There was creative expression. There's new people I met. We did something novel. Let's do it again. But people get so lost in the sauce of just like, oh, well, is this movie going to make money? Is that movie going to make money? Is this what going to... They forget about all that. They forget about why they're even doing it in the first place, I think, a lot of time. And I think this happens at top levels of every company and every industry. And they stop thinking about the reason why they're doing it in the damn first place. And
yeah, dude,
I don't know if there's like I don't know if there's like a union or a contract or a political contract that you can make to ever solve that, other than the people that are working in those things and that are working closest to them to be like, hey, you should stop and think about this thing and why you're doing it. And, try to pull some people back from the edge. Maybe, if I was deep into that fight right now between the producers union and the unions, that I don't know, that's what I would be doing.
Yeah. And I'm not saying because I'm not stating the fact. It's a fact that they don't have an obligation to create jobs or even save them. Doesn't mean I don't also agree with the strikers and that there should be a way to do this, to change the industry or keep up with the change that's affecting the industry now from the outside, right? And from even what we're doing is, I guess, technically moving this tech forward, and might trickle into the actual like Hollywood industry that we are separate from. But like, I'm an employee of a company. I think there should be ethics with employees. Like I'm not for brutal capitalism, but
Nobody
at the same
is.
time, it's like these companies also like a company also shouldn't be obliged to hold on to inefficiencies, you know, for like years and years because of that. Like there needs to be a balance, and like you can't just say like no AI.
A lot of times these things work themselves out just through. A lot of times these problems get fixed through the actual practice, though, and that's the hard thing that I don't know. I mean, it's good that they renegotiate every 3 years, because honestly, in 3 more years there'll be a lot more practice behind this. But there'll be like it's the work of practicing the art that actually solves these problems. We can sit and hypothesize it all day, but at a certain point, they just got to go, look, guys, this is good for the next 3. This is the best we can do right now. Like, let's come back to this in 3 years when we've actually done the damn thing for another 3 years and we actually know a little bit more. Because, like, can you imagine if they were doing this around like the advent of the combustion engine? You know, it would have never got done. It would have never got done.
Or the
it
digital camera.
Or the digital camera. It would have never got done because you needed to practice with it to figure out how to do it. So that's my thought.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It's scary. I mean, it's changing fast, and like, dude, I'm seeing this text to video stuff. I think we're next.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know.
I mean, we're all on the chopping block here. It's not like we're sitting on our high horse saying, "Oh, we're gonna survive AI."
But I mean, if you look at,
it's like, dude,
yeah, we are.
Yeah, if you look at any, if you look at any like top level post house,
whoa.
If you look at any like top level post house, they're not really utilizing AI like hands on the shots. It's more like training stuff to help with the shots, but you know. They're doing stuff like they're, you know, to get a realistic eye, they're rebuilding the eye from scratch with the Scalara and all the stuff inside of it. Like, people are designing these things and then creating these shots. But the reality that I'm seeing, and I could just be out of touch here, but it feels like the quietest one in the room always gets the most work, right? The one who's putting up the least fight is going to get the burden of it. And it feels like VFX artists are those people. They're always the ones who are kind of disjointed. They're already divided across nations. And therefore, they can be overburdened and be in a constant bidding war to the bottom, where these houses are going toe to toe with no unionization at all. And that's, I mean, if you want to see a world breaker in the entertainment industry, it would be unionization in the visual effects world. And, you know, Marvel tried to do that, I guess, or are trying to do that with their on-set employees.
Show get released if VFX artists went on strike.
Dude,
I don't know how you would do it. Whoever could do that should get the Nobel Peace Prize, or not the Nobel Prize for friggin'.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I heard that Indian artists are trying.
Greatest ambassador and statesman.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. If you need an actor, if you want someone to be in your shot, you got to reach your arm out and grab the first person you touch and put them in there, and it fulfills that purpose. Same thing with writing, you know. You're all right. You're like, okay, I need him to say something. And it's like, who knows English here? Okay, you do. All right, what
all
should
you
he
need
say?
Is a dictionary.
Boom! Now he has a line to say, you know, and is like, we're good to go.
You saying it's not good, but it's
technically
something.
Writing.
It's correct.
It's correct.
Technically,
you would look at it and go, that is a person.
Those are words
saying a line.
Okay.
You know, but and you have a boom pole in your shot and it's floating around. Like, all right, or even just like any effect, even if it's a simple one. Once again, can you just go, hey, you do that quick? You know, it's a actual. There's like it's a blend of a little more skill. A little. That's right. I said it.
How
a
dare
little
you?
More skill.
How dare you?
It's much more technical. It's much more technical. It's a little more akin to like the trade school style of learning than when you look at acting and writing, which I feel like lean more heavily into the creative side. You know, I mean,
especially when you're talking about big houses. It doesn't take skill
to be an actor or skill to be a writer, but from like a technical perspective, the visual effects industry has far more weight in that category. And in fact, like all the original VFX it's all like straight up science.
Mm-hmm. It is
primarily a technical job.
And all the people who are still leading the industry today are. I mean, look at Paul Debevec. Like Jesus Christ,
straight up science.
Guy's a mathematician.
It's can you help me relight this with an HDRI? You know, it's like you're like, hey, you on the street. Can you help me calculate like 32-bit like float light values, please?
I mean, I could. It wouldn't be good.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
No, I was talking to someone who works at Animalogic who designed their renderer, and he's giving me the nuts and bolts explanation of spectral rendering and waveforms and how light bounces accurate. I'm like, dude, everyone in this room is a scientist. All these Berkeley grads and these mega minds. And I'm like, man,
mega minds,
dude, because if you're talking about rebalancing, right? We're talking about efficiency. What costs the least? What's the most economical decision? Okay, well, actors cost this much, set costs this much. Well, VFX don't cost that much. Throw it to VFX. If it makes sense, throw it to VFX. Well, now we've unionized. Now price goes up. Well, maybe it makes a little more sense to bring the actors back because that got a lot more expensive very fast and there's no way around it. Like you said, you can't just pull people in and go, make it work. I mean, that's how you get Steven Seagal films, you know?
Yeah.
So... you know what I mean?
I love that button.
That's how you get the Flash. That's how you get the Flash.
How we get
some of the
Seagal
from the Flash are starting to pop up on YouTube, and I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, brother!
But I'm starting to see some of the clips. I'm like, oh my god,
oh brother, you just wait.
This is insanely wacky, man. I feel like I'm watching the trippiest like '90s rendering thing every once in a while. Man. Looks like a video game cutscene half the time.
Yep.
Nico was like, this is the Flash I want to see. And I'm like, part of me actually agrees. Like, you guys got balls for making this. It's pretty cool.
I kind of want to watch it right now. But it's also just
like very uncanny.
Well, don't watch it till tomorrow.
It's so weird. It was
Dude,
so
the babies.
What?
Don't watch it until tomorrow.
Yeah, don't watch it until
tomorrow. Do you have it downloaded?
I'm just saying, you know.
I can't wait to watch it.
We're doing React tomorrow. So
you might react to it tomorrow.
We'll just dedicate the whole episode to the Flash.
I would be down for that.
Because honestly, think about like the framing of the thumbnail. We could fill that thumbnail with everything.
Oh,
like it would look like we did 20 movies. To your average viewer, they click on it. Psych! It's the Flash. It's only the Flash today. It's like the Saho episode, where it's just like nonstop. It's just a freight train.
Oh man,
freight train of
it really is.
Freight train of Flash.
Falling babies.
All right.
Okay, one more thing. This is off topic, but Sam, have you seen this film Sisu? But the Finnish guy?
I'm aware of it. Yeah, the World War II action film.
Yeah. Well, it's a great film. I watched it last night. It's 90 minutes, and it's just a really, really punchy 90 minutes.
Okay.
But it got me thinking about, and Nick, we were talking via email with somebody about doing something for Indian cinema.
Oh yeah.
And
someone reached out.
I do wonder though. I do wonder if the drought of American content goes on for long enough, if stuff like this will see a surge in popularity, like Indian cinema, for example. Like we love Bollywood, but it's very clear from the analytics, like it mostly hits in India. Surprise.
Yeah.
But
most of our views on those videos are from India.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be some. It's not going to be off the charts, but I wonder if there'll be a rise in interest in foreign cinema.
I mean, certainly you're going to be getting a lot of, I bet in the next year, we'll see a lot more like big budget or even medium budget foreign movies pop up because they need to buy new things to renew because all the streaming rights are going to lapse, right? And they're going to be like, we need to fill this with more titles. I mean, we've already seen Netflix
They're so close.
Promoting a lot of Indian cinema.
Close. Like, once again, we need the John Woo crossover. Like, we need the Bollywood director directing like American actors.
So yeah,
it will be good. I mean, trust me. Like you need one of those.
That's it, dude.
You have to
That's
break
like what
the
Jackie
floodgates.
Chan did. That's what Jackie Chan did.
Yeah, no, but like look at like what is it? A Hard Target. John Woo's first American film.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Target.
It's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
But it's like you've never seen him before.
Right.
And
if you've seen Bloodsport, just wait.
Yeah. No, dude.
I rewatched Bloodsport the other day, and Lionheart.
Yeah.
And wow.
Well, this is, but yeah, I'm down for this. I mean, it's not like I can do anything about it, but I can cheer from the sidelines.
I mean, guys, why stop at one VFX sequence? We could make a whole Bollywood movie. Like
we should just make a No, we can't.
That'd be so fun though. Oh
we would try, but we would just be making fun of it like the anime videos.
Making fun with it, okay?
Making fun.
Yes.
We're making fun. I feel like I feel like the anime videos we're laughing together. We're not laughing at
it's
anime.
Appreciation for sure.
Okay,
it's funny, but
making fun.
We're definitely laughing with
anime. Making fun with you.
Can we make an anime rock paper scissors shirt with that?
Yeah.
Making fun.
We're making fun with it. Underlined.
Oh God.
Making fun
I'm
with
excited
you.
For this
It'll say making
video.
fun at you, and the at will be crossed out, and it'll say with.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, it's friendlier, you know. But it is. I mean, it's not like we're like pointing at Bollywood, being like, haha. It's like
no.
It's more like, damn,
absolutely
respect,
not.
Dude.
Bollywood films have some of the best DPs I've ever. Like,
oh my
some of these films,
like Michael Bay level,
so good. They look like Michael Bay films. They are just so shiny and glistening.
So glistening. So, dude, the director of one of the shiny, glistening ones that we looked at in the last movie, Thunivu, the bank heist movie.
Yeah.
So that director is making a new project now, and
with another famous actor,
with another huge, famous. Sorry, I forget his name.
Yeah,
it's South Indian cinema.
There's so many regions, I can't keep them all straight.
But South India is the crazy one. The point is, that's the one we want.
It's the director of a film we've seen. With another super famous actor on another film that we've seen.
Yeah.
And so that's a big deal. I'm just saying, big deal. So
it's a 12-hour time difference, so it's gonna be really awkward to get a meeting together.
Yeah,
but
it's so super awkward. But man,
we'll do it. We'll do it.
Although Thunivu, dude, that guy, the super bearded, handsome guy in Thunivu.
So cool.
Like, whoa, man.
Right?
I want to cast him in my movie.
I want to cast him in my movie too. I know. He has everything figured out.
He's so handsome and glistening.
All these Bollywood stars look like the Chad meme. You know, like the black and white, the black and white buff Chad meme.
Yeah.
They all look like that.
That's
so
still
funny.
very, that's still very like posh in that society, like being the.
I know they haven't hit their Timothy Chalamet phase yet.
They haven't hit their Timothy Chalamet. And you know what? Thank God.
They're in the George Clooney phase.
They're still in the buff George Clooney phase.
They're still George Clooney's next, and then Timothy Chalamet's after George Clooney.
Yeah, they'll get some string bean after this, I'm sure.
Hopefully they never get there. Hopefully they never get there.
I think to succeed in Bollywood, you need to be like 50 years old and have a really cool beard.
This is a message
need to have
for
a
all aspiring actors out there. If you're in theater right now and you're hoping to get in the film industry right now, just saying, don't bulk up. All right.
Yeah.
Don't do the buff Marvel thing. Okay. Trust me, it will pay off in about 10 years.
You can still be cool in Hollywood.
Yeah. You can be cool and weak.
Oh my God. You may be weak, but you can shoot a machine gun really cool.
Yeah.
Man. I'm excited though. So they want, apparently, I don't know much about this movie. It's called R2R, right?
It's not R3R.
Not RRR.
It's not RRR. R2R.
R2R. Which stands for something cool.
I don't think it's called R2R, is it? Because did someone say R2R? Because it's not called R2R.
No,
he said that in the email, didn't he?
It's called like Rise to Revolt or something.
Yeah,
because I don't want to work on a RRR ripoff.
I don't know what it is.
It just kind of sound like
that.
They
showed me absolutely nothing about what the movie is. Rise to Rule is what it's called. Rise to Rule, and there's a guy holding a flaming torch.
God, it's totally gonna be a rebellion.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be in the colonial days too, where there's like British guys.
He's holding a torch. RRR takes place before the Indian Revolution, doesn't it?
At like the beginning of it.
It's like it's right.
It takes place in like the 30s.
I think it
and
kicks it off.
India separated from Great Britain, I think, in 54, I think, or 51.
I mean, the bad guy is a British guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So.
But that's because they were under British rule for like 100 years.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it. Oh, dude, rest in peace, by the way.
This looks like a fine place to rule.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's the classic stereotype for every bad guy. The last 20 years of historical films quote. It's like, just put the English guy in there and he'll be the evil guy because everybody knows they were the bad guys.
Yeah, we should have. I want to see an evil Belgians movie.
Very cliche.
I would love to make that.
The evil Belgians
here.
The evil Belgians too.
Yo.
I feel like the Belgians were way worse than everyone else.
The Spaniards
It was condensed evil. It was condensed.
It was that's what I'm saying. Well,
for about 1,000 years, the Spaniards were absolutely brutal, and what they did to the natives in Central America
everywhere.
Next podcast. How about this, guys?
You want to hear about Leopold II, the Belgian Congo? Let's go.
Let's do the evil meter for the next podcast. So everyone, pick your civilization, okay, and research your evilness, and we'll compare this so we can finally come to terms with who was the worst.
There were some pretty brutal Native American tribes too, by the way.
Well, I'm just saying.
Everyone's brutal.
I know. I'm just saying, if it's an evil game of civilization, like who do you want to be?
Everybody's on it.
Who's better? Who's best to rule? If I'm just saying, think about this.
Right,
the evil Belgians never went up against the evil Brits like directly head to head.
That's where we're at. Know? That's where we need to be.
If you took like 20 evil guys from that country,
yeah.
Okay,
it's kind of like the Avengers, but evil.
The Mongol Empire one. I googled it.
Yeah, Mongols, dude.
Mongol Empire.
Were they evil?
I guess so. I mean, Google seems to think so.
A lot of people, Genghis Khan was renowned for taking in his enemies and bringing them into his.
If they surrendered,
by the way, are we doing this? Are we redoing Genghis? Is this Genghis now, or Genghis?
Genghis Khan, whatever.
GIF or GIF?
Is this GIF?
Whatever.
Or GIF?
GIF or GIF, dude. This has been going on since the man himself. I'm telling you.
No one knew. Yeah. Everyone forgot.
Also, that wasn't his name. Genghis Khan means like great king. It doesn't.
Genghis Khan.
It was Genghis Khan, whatever. Temujin, I believe.
It's just funny how a guy can be so old and
there's different pronunciations.
Have arguments over how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Was it Gengar or Jengar?
Is it Jesus or Jesus?
Jengar.
I don't.
Jengar, dude.
Jengar.
Yeah, I parked my car in my garage.
Well, giraffe, though. It's not a giraffe.
The English still call it garage.
All right, I'm done.
Well, then it's the English. The English are the most evil. Look at this language, man.
Look at this terrible.
They call garage garage. Hey, I've got some aluminium stored in my garage. Let me go grab it.
Aluminium in my garage.
Oh man.
Oh no.
That's so funny. Because I was telling Sarah about this. We're like, what do we call our third kid? And our other kids have G names. And I'd be like, oh, obviously we'll call him Jeff.
Yeah. GEOFF.
Oh no.
Jeff.
You're really gonna do that to him, bro?
Are you announcing to me that Sarah's pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I thought we had a really good laugh over that one. Okay. It'd be like, oh.
I mean, if it's impossible. If it's a girl,
it could just be. It's really gonna trigger you. I had an uncle who was from France, and his name was Joffrey, and he spelled it Geo.
Man, they're out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
If it's a girl, just call her Jennifer with a G.
Yeah, baby.
Jennifer
with a G.
There's Jennifer, and there's Genevieve. That is spelled with a G.
Look at that, man. You can just pick.
Dude, Jack with a G.
There you go. That was unambiguous.
Classroom little Gak.
It's
like,
Jack.
No, it's Jack.
Gak. Little Gak, dude.
GAQU.
Oh, dude. Just a little thing roaming around being called Gak is such a great thought.
It's like they're 14. It's like, yeah, I've given up. Just call me Gak.
Just call me Gak, dude.
Oh. Wow. Well, I think we'll end it there, boys.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen, but we're going to keep trying over here. So I hope you do the same. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, everybody. Take it easy.